Hey guys, it's your boy MCS here, back again with another video. Hope everyone's well. We checked out parts 1 and 2, and hopefully it will go as well as possible. So I hope someone out there, or as many people out there as possible, will enjoy this video, and hopefully I won't repeat too many points. I'll try not to. So obviously this video, as well as the other two, are geared towards those who like football and enjoy talking about football, or listening to football, or discussing football. And I welcome your comments anyway, as well. Any comments you want to post, positive or negative, preferably positive. And so anyway, I can't think of too much to say in the intro, so hope everyone's well, as I say, and hope your families are well, and may you find light in your darkest hour, and your darkest hours, and hope in your worst hours. I was just thinking about saying earlier, but anyway, here goes. So cracking on with list number 21. I hope that people will bring back the pride in Italian football, and again have lots of merchandise that will say things like, please bring back the pride of Italian football, and like footballs and football boots and kits, gears and things like that. And hopefully bring back like the glory days, like in the 90s, when the Italian league was possibly the best on the planet. And hopefully, I know it's still kind of one of the best. It's not particularly the poorest league in terms of finances, or it's not particularly the worst league in terms of performing, but it's I think it's probably second or third, and it's slipped down the rankings a bit compared to how it used to be, certainly compared to the Premier League or La Liga. So I hope it'll get back to those glory days and become the number one again, and look at some of the ideas and how to develop them, and that kind of thing, and what Italian football clubs can learn from the past, and learn from business and other such areas, and attracting investors and things like that. Number 22, hopefully again, Italian football will have new ideas, fresh ideas, and I thought of ideas like an Italian football museum. There's probably already some that exist, but yeah, I could talk about some of the history of Italian football and that sort of thing. But hopefully new owners, managers, coaches, and other such staff, especially managers and coaches, and even owners actually, in particular, would have like 5 to 10 year plans about what they want to do for each club they come in to buy, like whether it's Inter, whether it's AC Milan, whether it's Roma, Lazio, or whatever other team, and talk about how they plan to develop the area, the youth, get more people playing football, get more people training, and just generally develop the football for each club team they might own, and how they're going to get more young players in. Again, how they're going to bring the academies in, how they're going to do like tours overseas so they can build the brand value, and also train with people across Asia and places like that, and how they can improve Italian football. And also like the players that come in, maybe new players it could be like a contract where they have to train up the youth. So if someone like Messi, all being well, came to Italian football, players like that, they would train up the youth. So they would talk about how they're going to improve like the younger players, and be mentors and role models for them, and talk about how they can improve their diets and how they can improve their game and things like that, and become the best players they can be, whether those players are from overseas or they're Italian themselves. Number 23, I hope for older players as well, like Roberto Baggio, especially ones that are Italian themselves, to like create youth academies, and again hope for politicians to have give tax exemptions for creating football stadiums, and like possibly even like when new migrants come into the country, or even different communities of migrants, like to help them play football, they get tax exemptions for bringing community integration and helping young players and building academies. And like I love Italian football teams and Celtic to pay as little tax as possible, possibly even get governmental support, lottery funding, and all sorts of things like that. Maybe like there could be blue poppies for Italian football where people buy them, and any money they make goes to Italian football. And for Celtic, it could be like green poppy because they play in green, or green and white, or it could be a green and white poppy or whatever. And it could be a special one that people buy, like fans buy, and that goes into the club, like buying stadiums, football pitches, footballs, especially for disadvantaged people from the local area. In Celtic's case, it would be Glasgow. And also as much investment into Italian football as possible, and looking at how to attract new sponsors, and I'd love Italian football to be and Celtic to be as rich as possible. From Celtic's point of view, as well as buying new players, it could also prevent their best players being sold as well. And as I say, to have wealthy as possible owners, sponsors, investors, local people putting money into their team. And again, I love the Serie A and Celtic, the league Serie A and the Serie A league, whichever way you put it, and Celtic to be as rich as possible, and sell merchandise around the world, increase the brand value. Italians to like sort of subscribe to and like the videos from Italian football fans videos, including the Serie A channel itself, and Italian football TV, and Forza Italian football and channels like that, and like supporting each other's channels. And again, similar for Celtic fans, and hopefully that could raise at least a little bit of money that could be put into supporting young players, and also like development of young players, and also and I always lose my train of thought. And also, hopefully those channels will invest in, spend some of their money if they can, like 10% of whatever they make from their YouTube channel could go towards building stadiums or paying for like pitches or places or spaces for sport, which is another thing I hope for the owners to do, like or sponsors like Pepsi or Lucozade or whatever, companies like that, Coca-Cola or whichever other company, to put in money for places for sport and spaces for sport. And also so hopefully that will raise the brand value. And also sponsors to invest in Scuola Calcios or Italian football schools and things like that, so to build as many football schools in Italy as possible. Number 24, again, hope for Italy to come together through football and train with each other, and also Celtic practice with Ireland, but also Italy, and Italy to improve relations with countries like Ireland, which have the tricolour as well, and like Italian, Irish, and Celtic fans to train together, and also French players as well, or fans or whatever, and train each other. Again, invest in the youth. 25, I hope for Italian football to host things like Tricolour Cup, Mediterranean Cups, Tricolour Cups, Republic Cups, and things like that. 26, I hope for Italian football to do as much fundraising for places like Asia, and again to build academies and thank any fans in Asia, do tours of Asia and practice playing football with the young players. And again, that could, for the club teams, that could help to have players in the future from Asia, like Malaysia, India, Indonesia, Singapore, China, and wherever else, to play for Italian clubs in the future. 28, I hope it will turn, it'll be for the better, turn some of the negative situations into positives. 29, I hope to encourage my fellow Anglo-Indians, dyslexics, and other people with things in common with me to support Italian football, and especially again to have fans from what I call the Four, and especially Asia, also from Eurasian nations, transcontinental, Mid-Eastern and Mediterranean nations. Hope you can hear me, Brother Super. Encourage them to be Italian football fans, and encourage people from around the world to be Italian football fans, and improve relations between Italians and others through football, as I say. And number 30, sorry if I repeat any ideas, so please let me know what you think. As ever, again, I'd love to have like Scuola Calcios or football schools, people to sponsor Italian football schools. I made a group for a charity thing where I said, please sponsor a school for girls in South Africa to do technology in your name. So I want to make equivalents for Italian football from that idea. So wealthy owners or people who invest could invest in football schools, as I say, and development centres and things like that, to train as many people as possible. And again, hope the government, the Italian government and politicians will give as much tax exemption as possible. Also fund, like sports minister, talking about more funding for sports and places for sports, and encourage investors and also sponsors like Coca-Cola, Pepsi-Cola, or Red Bull, or whoever, to have spaces for sports and places for sports, again offering tax exemptions and things like that. So to create, as I say, football academies, training centres, schools where they improve their diet, they get to practice as much football as possible, they focus as much on football as possible, and look at their health and how they can develop and keep fit and play, go out and play football as much as possible. I think that covers everything. I'm sure there are 1 or 2 points I forgot, but I could always put them in the comment section. So please let me know what you thought of this as ever. Peace and love.